Good morning, Nigerians. This is News and Views, where facts meet analysis for a clearer Nigeria. Stay informed, stay ahead. This morning, we are reviewing the news headlined Tinubu versus Sowore, Clemency, Exclusion, and limits of protest. ATOTO Daily recalled that Omowole Sowore was granted bail by magistrate court sitting in Kuje, Abuja, for an offense committed when he and others trespassed against the law that people should not move closer to court premises. However, minutes later, he was rearrested by the police, and this sparked mixed reactions across the country. In fact, there were agitation by civil organizations, OPC leadership, among others. They claimed that such rearrest was against the tenets of democracy, that is unlawful. And the Nigerian police has explanation also. They said it wasn't on the initial charge, that he was arrested newly on a fresh charge he has committed, that bail granted does not serve as immunity against continuous investigation on other allegations. Whichever way, Sowore will be rearranged on 27th Monday, October 2025. And the civil organizations are saying that police and the court should be fair and unbiased on how they carry out the proceedings. Now, why do we need to express our views on this matter? Because it is becoming a trend, a situation where the so-called lettered people has begun to cause unrest in the country. Yes, Sowore has staged protests. But on what? Or should I say, what does Sowore want? Sowore wants unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, an IPOB leader, an organization that has been proscribed by federal government of Nigeria since 2017 as a terrorist organization. So, this is where there should be a kind of patriotic restraint on whatever we do, because we don't have another country. Okay, let's review why Sowore wants Kanu to be given unconditional release. Because he said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has just granted clemency to some inmates, and one particular among them was Sanda, who murdered her husband. That if such people could be granted clemency, what about Nnamdi Kanu? But should we say, or should we agree, that Sowore did not know that clemency is not granted to ongoing trial? Rather, constitutionally, it is meant for concluded cases. As we speak, Nnamdi Kanu has many appeals pending before the Supreme Court of Nigeria and the Federal High Court. His case is ongoing. On what basis will such clemency be granted? Has he been sentenced? Even before the sentence, has court found him guilty? Then on what basis should he be granted clemency or unconditional release? How much more of the allegation before him as a terrorist leader, whether we take it or we leave it? So when trying to be a better person before the general public, we should be mindful of our actions on fellow countrymen and women. Sowore and others are claiming to be saints this time around, no problem. But there is law and there is a country. What we're saying is, look, if we refuse to follow the law, it means there's no country and we don't have another one. Sowore should look at the visa on his passport. It was given to him because he is a Nigerian. So we should try to avoid sentiments which can be detrimental to all of us. Now, let's express views on other issues. What is clemency? Clemency, according to Nigeria 1999 Constitution as amended, Section 175, says the president has the right to approve, not to recommend or initiate. That is why there are two bodies that are delegated or assigned to handle such sensitive matter. The first body is the Presidential Advisory Committee. Who are those in that committee? They are Attorney General of the Federation, who is the chairman. We have relevant stakeholders, among which are Police Force, Correctional Service, and Human Rights Commission, and other individuals appointed on their expertise. These responsible and patriotic Nigerians will sit together, deliberate on 5 key points, and come out with a list which will be submitted to the Council of States. Who are those in that council? They are the incumbent president, who is the chairman, the vice president, all past presidents, all past head of states, all governors, Senate President, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Attorney General. So when this set of responsible individuals or leaders of the country converge to deliberate on a matter and come out with a list, I think we have to think twice before we condemn whatever they do. Though, around the globe, why clemency is obtainable, it has always been controversial. It happened in 1974 when the US President Ford granted Nixon such an amnesty. It was controversial. When Bill Clinton did his own in 2001 in favor of Rich, who was sentenced on tax evasion and wire fraud. I repeat, wire fraud. There was a high level of controversy, but it stays. Yes, we will not all share the same opinion at the same time. It's not obtainable. But wherever clemency takes place, it has always been constitutional and in fairness to all concerned. Let's take the example of Sanda in Nigeria here, Miriam Sanda, who murdered her husband. We all remember that. And I think in this case, many people has raised eyebrow that why should she be granted pardon? Yes. So what some of us would not know is that in 2019, her father-in-law wrote an appeal letter to the presidency, begging that she should be granted pardon. When asked why, he said he did it on humanitarian ground. And for the fact that there's no one to take care of the children left behind by the murdered husband. To crown it all, he said, executing Sanda will not bring back his son. We should always remember that these people, the Presidential Advisory Committee, the Council of State, their fathers and mothers, in fact, their parents, caring one. So they have to be considered no matter what. So we have the view about Nnamdi Kanu is that it's not due for clemency. His case is ongoing. He has pending cases appealed before the Supreme Court and Federal High Court. Much more so, he was facing allegations on treason and felony, on terrorism, unlawful possession of arms, and incitement leading to loss of lives and property in the South. So in a way, The exclusion of Nnamdi Kanu, therefore, is not an act of political punishment. No. It is a measured stance to allow the courts and peace channels to complete their work. Mercy must follow justice, not replace it.